Gracie. You a mess. Come on, we gotta get some things out. We gotta start cooking. Let's get this out some cabbage. Oh yeah. Okay. Need onion. Yep. Woo. Come on, onion. Come on, onion. No. Okay. And we're gonna need some carrots. Yep, we are. Delicious. Gotta have some carrots, right, guys? Hey, Trixie. Glad y'all could come today. Okay. You know Papa's cooking, aren't you? Well, Gracie, was that somebody knocking on the door? Here, let me go check, see who's knocking at the door. Oh! Whew! Snuck up on me there again. I'm so glad you could make it over on New Year's Eve day. You caught old Mr. Tom getting ready to cook up one of the side dishes for our New Year's Day meal. I would say feast. We ain't going that far. And this was a staple that we had many times during the year, but especially so on New Year's Day. You know, you gotta have those black-eyed peas, and you gotta have cabbage of some type. But depending on what Mama and Daddy was making, they might go with fried cabbage, or they might go with this. And I picked this, and this would have been going with some fine slow-cooked pork roast. Yep, I'm thinking about that for tomorrow. Yep, an old crock pot I am. And then shred it all up. Add a little of that there BQ sauce. Make me some fine barbecue pork sandwiches with coleslaw. And that's what we're going to be making. So, y'all take a chair in the dining room. Sit back. I'll show you what we need. And we'll get the process started here in the old country kitchen. So as always, you need a few things. Yes, you do. You're going to need, of course, it's coleslaw, so you're going to need some cabbage. Got some nice head of green cabbage here. And got us a half a head of that there red cabbage, they call it. I don't know why. To me, it looks purple. But we're only going to be using a quarter head and a quarter head because it's just me and the kitty crew. And they're not all too big on coleslaw. You're going to need some yellow onion. Yes, sir. You could use the white. Or, if you're one of those wealthy folks, you might be using one of them Vidalias. But I think they're out of season right now. You're going to need some carrots. Yep, going to be using a couple of them. And all that. But then, you got to spice it on up. Oh, yeah. So you're going to need a little bit salt. We just use no great value table salt. Going to need you a little bit of pure ground black pepper. Oh yeah, right there. Now, these two things, what makes it so much more better. You're going to need you some celery seed and some dill weed. Trust me on that. Then what you're going to need is some apple cider vinegar. Oh yeah. Some lemon juice. If you live somewhere where you can conveniently go get real lemons, you can use fresh lemon juice. Now, this is a savory coleslaw. Perfect for going on top of some pulled pork, sliced pork roast, chunk pork roast, it'll even work on beef roast. Trust me, it will. But if you want to sweeten it up a little bit, because you fancy a little sweetness, you're going to need you some sugar. Then, you got to have something to make the dressing. Of course, since it's the South, you're going to need some Dukes. Oh yeah. And then, like I say, savory, but also a little bit of warmth and heat, because it's the winter time and there ain't nothing that don't go better on pork than horseradish. That's going to give it a little bit of touch of warmth and spice. And this is Sandwich Pal horseradish sauce. Kraft makes one, or you can use prepared horseradish. But if you do, I'd only use about a teaspoon. Okay? So that's everything you're going to need right there. You know, you're going to need a cutting board, knife, a couple of bowls, one smaller to make your dressing. You know, a larger one to mix it all up. Make it fine. That's very important to make this the day before, so all the flavors meld together. Trust me, it is. So, me and Gracie, who's standing by right here, let me show it to you. Gracie, you standing by to do some chopping, dicing, and shredding? Okay. She's on standby right now. I think Trixie got impatient and went and laid down in the living room next to her heater, because it's starting to get cool again. So there we have it. So let me get just save y'all having me to go through it. Let me get my purple cabbage and cut a quarter head of that, a quarter head of that green cabbage, half of that onion, a couple carrots. Now I'll be chopping my cabbage. If you want to grate it, fine. If you want to shred it, fine. If you want to put it in a food processor, fine. I just like to chop mine up with a chef's knife. Same with my onions. And then here, with the carrots, I sliver them all up, all nice and fine too. Sort of, you know, kind of like julienne, I guess. So you'll see it after we get everything ready to start putting it all together. Well, as you can see, we got that cabbage, carrots, and onion all chopped up. Thankfully, Trixie and Gracie helped out. They went ahead and got the cabbage. And all we got here is it's just, you know, 1/4 inch rough chop. You know, quarter, 3/8 of the red cabbage, green cabbage, carrots, they're about 1/4 to 3/8 as well. And then we got the onion. So there's all the colorful vegetables. Oh yeah. Can you imagine what all that's going to look like? And like I say, I like my coleslaw to have some bite to it. If you don't, well then shred all your stuff up. Or throw it in that there fancy food processor you got. Or grate it. I like it this way. So we got all that done up. Now, we got to put the dressing together. Once we get that together, in that little old stainless steel bowl right over yonder, we'll drop her on in here. And we'll start the mixing. That's why you got to have the big old bowl, okay? So let me get y'all set up, and let's start making that dressing. So y'all, first thing we're going to do, we're going to put some of that Duke's in there. Now, like I say, you want around a 1/2 cup, 2/3. Ain't got to be perfect. Depends on how creamy you want. Now, I'm not going to measure this in a cup. I know, with my big old spoon here, That's going to be right at about $3 with this big old spoon. Yep, just like that. Ooh, yeah, doggy. So we got the Dukes on in there, and now we're going to put a little bit of warmth and spice in there. We're going to take our sandwich pile here. I ain't going to measure it either. Here again, I know, but you want about a 1/4 cup. Now, if you don't like it a little bit warm and spicy, don't put this in there. If you do, I suggest you try some of it right here. Sandwich pile, or go with the Kraft. It's got mayo and horseradish in it. Fine stuff it is. And it's going to heat up that dressing. Yep. Then what we're going to do, we got to start putting some spices in it. Yep, we do. So the next thing we're going to drop on in there is a teaspoon of salt. Yep. You use the salt you want, okay? I'm just using table salt. Boom. Now you can cut that back if you want to. It ain't gonna kill nobody. Because we're gonna taste it. And we'll get it all mixed on together, y'all. And then we got to add us in a little more kick. And I like the pepper. Y'all all know that. You don't put so much in. I'm going to go ahead and put me in here. 1/2 teaspoon. Pure ground black pepper. Yes, sir. You know, that cabbage can be a little bland. We're going to kick it up a little bit, okay? You might want to go with a 1/4. All depends. Next, we're going to go with our dill weed. Yep, dill weed right here. And we're going to drop in there a 1/2 teaspoon of that. Right there. Boom. And you can already see this is getting so much more flavorful. Like I say, this is savory. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put us in some celery seed. Yes, we are. So we got that celery seed here, right here. And you ain't got to. We're going to put us in 1/4 teaspoon of that celery seed. Yep. Can you see all that flavor going in there? I'll bet you can. Yes, sir. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some tang in the wang. And that. We're going to put us in 1 tablespoon, just 1, of apple cider vinegar. Oh yeah. Gonna give her a little bit of tang. Of course, any of y'all have had Dukes, you know it's a little tangy and spicy anyway. And next, we got to get us out some lemon juice. We surely do. Now, like I say, if you got those real lemons, you go ahead and use them. We're going to use real lemon. So when using this, you want to go with about 1/2 teaspoon. Not a whole lot. That just adds some brightness to it. Some extra flavor. Yep. Sure does. So we got it all together in there. Now it's at this point, if you wanted to make it a little bit on the sweet side, you drop you in about a tablespoon of this Dixie Crystals. I ain't gonna do it. I like mine savory. Then all you gonna do is take that nice spoon and you gonna just start stirring this up. Yep, making sure you get all those spices off sides of those bowls. Yes, sir. Look at that. Woo! Smelling good now. It is. And this dressing will open up your nostrils. Now, since it's me and Grace in the kitchen right now, she's right at my feet. I'm gonna give this a little taste, make sure it's just right. Oh yeah. That is just right. You see? Now I'm gonna tell you what. Now all we gotta do is drop this in with our chopped cabbages, onion, and carrots. Start mixing her up. Oh yeah. Hang on. So, we got our big bowl filled up with all of our ingredients, you know, red cabbage, green cabbage, onion, and our carrots. And your sauce, make up the dressing. Now all we gotta do is get that dressing poured on in there. We do. Yep. Ain't hard. Just, you know, distribute it on the top there best you can. Scrape out that bowl. Get all that goodness. Yep. Get it all. Try not to make too big of a mess. Okay. If you got one of them little fancy spatulas, I know you women folk have, I don't, you can scrape it around and do it much better. So we got that all on in there. So all we're gonna do, we're gonna start mixing it all together. Yep, just like that. We're gonna start mixing it up. This is where you get a little bit of work out. Start mixing all the goodness. Getting all that cabbage, onion, and carrots all mixed up together. Now, if it's not as creamy as you would like it, throw you in another dollop of Duke's. I don't like mine real runny. I like it sort of creamy. Yep, looking good to me. Might not be to you. Don't know. And you're just gonna keep on mixing it on up till you happy with it. Now I can tell you what, the smell of that dressing, ooh, already excite your taste buds. Now I'm gonna tell you what, you can't get nothing finer than this for a pulled pork sandwich, shredded beef, make one of them there pot roasts on Sunday, you know, like we used to do back in the day. Perfect side for it. Lord, my daddy, he'd top his roast with this. Whether mama made a pork roast or made one of them there beef chuck roasts, he would. This is darn right healthy for you. See that right there? See what that looks like? Now the only thing left is give it a taste test. Now when you serve it tomorrow, and we're making it on New Year's Eve, okay? So all these flavors can meld with all that cabbage, onion, and carrots, and become all the more flavorful. Yep. So if you can, always make it the night before. Trust me, you won't regret it, because this gets better as it ages. Yes, it does. So there we have it. The only thing left is give it a taste test. So let's do that. Let me get out the official taste tester. Be right back. So there we have it all mixed up. Look at that. Ooh, creamy and delicious and all so colorful. We're going to grab us a little spoonful here. Right there. Make sure we got all the colors in there, just like we do now. So y'all, like always, we got to give it a taste test. Oh, let me tell you. Even now, that's so flavorful, you better hang on to your pants or they'll slap and knock them off. Oh yeah. It's got just a touch of warmth and spice and a little twang to go with the wine. And this will be ever so delicious with any pork or beef dish you can come up with. And this will also make the new year brighter. You know, you got the cabbage there. You know, that's supposed to be good luck for money. You got the red or purple cabbage for beauty in the coming new year. Carrots for health. And the onion, that's all about keeping you well too. Yep. All right. Let me get another bite of it. You know. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's got some crunch. So y'all, it's finished. We're just gonna put a little bit of that saran wrap on top of it, pop it in the fridge, and let all those flavors come together for tomorrow. Yep. So when we make that pork roast, we'll have something on the side or on top, depending on whether I want to make shredded pork to go on with it. So I do know 2020's been a real pain in the rear quarters, and I know we're all hoping 2021 is better, and so am I too. And so is Trixie, Gracie, Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, Elrod, and McGee. And we wanted to all wish y'all the very best and the happiest of New Year's to come in 2021. So until we see you on the next video, y'all take care. Stay safe out there, and God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye for now. Well, I'm thinking I'll just have a bowl of this right now. Yep. Whew, packed with health benefits. Everybody knows cabbage is really good for you. Carrots, onion, dill, carrot seed. Whew. Not only is it tasty, but it's packed full of goodness for the body too. Later all.